Good day, you are watching Style Session episode 5. I am your host, Pontsho Mpelo. If you haven't watched episode 4, I recommend that you do, because episode 5 is a continuation of episode 4 that we did with Pontsho Mpelo here on Style Session. So if you don't want to get lost, please do watch episode 4. So now, what was my takeaway from episode 4 was that everything that is around us is a dream. So be aware of your surrounding, because everything that is around us is a dream. It was once someone else's dream, and if they can do it, you can also do it. Those were words from Pontsho Mpelo. He said that don't ever think that you're dreaming too much or too little. Know that your dreams are valid. Very powerful words from a black young successful man, Pontsho Mpelo. Now, it is such talks, such powerful symposium that leaves one all geared up, charged and ready to face the world. But sometimes they can leave you all dazed and confused, especially if you don't know what you're doing, especially if you don't know what is your passion or your purpose. And that's exactly what I want us to discuss today. What is your purpose, and how do you discover your purpose? This sounds like a tricky question, because when we are born, we are all born with a purpose, right? But you don't know what is your purpose. From a very young age, actually from birth, around 3 months, we are aware of our surroundings. Our eyes are able to, follow movements around us. So if your parents would waggle something in front of you, your eyes will be able to follow movements. Yeah. So at that age, we are able to recognize everything that's around us. From the age of 2, we are called the trouble twos, because at that age, that's when you realize that, oh, so when I'm in a room, it's me in a room, and if I move, it's only me moving and not the entire room. Do you understand? Not everyone and not the room. Do you understand? A wall is a wall on its own, and I am me, myself. That's what you realize. That's what you discover at the age of 2. So you also realize that when you cry, when you throw toys, when you scream, your parents run to you, and then you're like, oh, so I can control these idiots. You understand? So that's why they call us the trouble twos. You know that when you move, and when you move your arm, when you reach for something, it's just you moving. It's just you moving your arm, and everything else is steady. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what you realize at the age of 2, that not everything moves when you move. It's just you. You are your own person. You understand? That's what you discover at the age of 2. However, so it is during that period, from birth until you are old enough, you do depend on your parents fully, right? And with parents as well, they make sure that within that period, before you are old enough, they make sure that within that period, they do so much so that by the time now you are old enough to take care of your own life, of your own actions, they do so much so that by the time you carry on with life on your own, you also carry on with their teachings. Do you understand? But unfortunately, no one hands you a manual to read about your purpose at that stage. No one hands you a manual to read about your purpose. That's exactly how life is, unfortunately. You figure out your own life. You map out your own life. Some by fate do follow the right direction, but unfortunately other people, they fail many times before they can finally find themselves or find what is their purpose. So the following are questions that I need you to ask yourself. Ask yourself questions like, what is it that when I do it with all my heart? What is it that when I do it with passion? What is it that when I do it, I lose track of time? What is it that when I do it, I don't tire from doing it? What is it that when I do it, I feel fulfilled? What is it that when I do it, I dig deeper, and I find pleasure in my discoveries? What is it that when I do it, I feel the sense of rising? If you can answer those questions, then you will know what is your purpose. That's exactly how your purpose should make you feel like. Do you understand? So someone can say that, okay, Pontsho, I hear you. I have asked myself those questions before. I have answered to those questions before, but I don't seem to see the light. Then what is the problem? Let me tell you why you don't seem to see the light. It's either you are impatient with yourself, it's either you are impatient with your journey, or you are either controlled by fear. Fear because you think you're too poor to make it, fear because you think you don't know the who's and who's, fear because odds have stacked against you, fear because you are uneducated, or even worse, fear because you are a woman. Let me tell you something. The moment you start following your dreams, the moment you start embarking in a journey of finding yourself and following your purpose, that journey, it has a potential of making you doubt yourself. It has a potential of making you feel like things are impossible to achieve. That's what you need to be aware of. Do you understand? But that shouldn't stop you. That shouldn't stop you. Your purpose or even your passion might not be industry specific. Are you listening to that? Are you listening to that? Your purpose or your passion might not be industry specific, but think about what Tom Bruce said. He said that everything that's around us was once someone else's dream, and if they can do it, you can also do it. So your purpose or your passion might not be industry specific, but that shouldn't stop you. Think about buildings or industries that you see right now, but 10 years back, they were not there. That was someone else's dream and they made it come true. Think about 10 years back when the mode of transport that you could rely on, it was taxis or buses, or if you had a car, yes, your car. But right now we have Uber drivers. Your purpose or your passion might not feature in the educational system, but you shouldn't be boxed to think within that educational system. You shouldn't be afraid to start something new. I don't want people to think that the only way to success, the way to success looks like one thing, or way to success looks like this, where after matric you go to university, and people think that if you don't go to university you wouldn't make it, or you wouldn't be successful. I'm not saying that education is not important. Education is very important, but if you do not find your purpose or your passion featured within the educational system, don't be boxed to think within that educational system. Don't be afraid to start something new. Don't think that there's a thick, solid line to success. Let me tell you something about myself. I don't think I am where I am today because of my qualification. I think I am where I am today because of the opportunities that I took, the opportunities that I grabbed. You understand? And that's what I mean by don't think that the only way to success is only through a thick, solid line where you need to go to school and you need to find something in the educational system, even though you can feel that it's not resonating with who you are or with your purpose or your passion. You understand? So I'm where I am because of opportunities that I grabbed. You understand? I remember in 2015, that was my first internship, and I worked for a waste management company. And Mgoko Sekete was the project manager. I think he is still a project manager even today. So what he did is he's a very incredible manager. He's very, very, very incredible. He's amazing. He's got very good work ethics. He's one black person who is interested in seeing other people thriving here. So I remember after my contract, he got me in touch with Daniel. Daniel was a IT freelancer at Bushways, and the reason why he got me in touch with Daniel was because through our conversations, he could pick it up that Pontsho is interested in IT. So he got me in touch with Daniel, and I worked together with Daniel. I didn't have a qualification in IT. My qualification is in management. So I didn't have a qualification in IT, but I did not say I'm not going to jump in and take this opportunity and take this chance. I jumped in and I worked very well with Daniel. After Daniel, then I moved to Thabang Sekete, who's also a marketing manager in Bushways. So Thabang took me in the marketing department. I don't have a marketing qualification. I stepped in because of the something that he saw in me, and I became a research assistant for him. We did research together, and after that, I remember he was like, just look into Bushways. Tell me what is it that you can change in a technological space. What is it that you can change? Bushways. It can be any department, but because I was working in a database department, that was the department that I wanted to change. You understand? Just so that things are not done in a paperwork system, but they are done in a paperless system. I sat down with the big bosses. I sat down with them around a table, and making decisions with them. You understand? He taught me, he taught me how to do what business intelligence. You understand? Where you assess the operation of any company, and then you help them with coming with technological solutions, technical solutions. You understand? And that's, I think I have the ability to do that. If you can listen to the interview that we had with Tom Bruce, listen to the idea that I gave him with the ELOH app. Listen to the idea, because that's my capabilities, and I could only acquire that skill through the opportunity of jumping in a department that was very foreign to me, a department that I had no qualification for, but I stepped in irrespective. So that's why I'm saying that I got to where I am today because of the opportunities that I took. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to start something new. Don't be afraid to start something new. Don't be boxed to think within an educational system if you don't see that there is something that relates with you. Don't be afraid to do that. Do you understand? Right after matric, if you feel like, no, I want to start my own thing, do it. Right after matric, if you see that there's something that you can do, you can study, go to university and apply. And can I tell you something? The moment you work on your passion, the moment you work on your purpose, there's a definite success at the end. There's guaranteed success at the end. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Bumpy road, smooth road, it doesn't matter how long it takes. At the end, you will succeed. Like myself, I'm not yet where I want to be, but I know that I'm on the right path. I know that I'm right now on point 3, and I know that I can see that the next step for me is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The road is open, it's clear. There are no cars that I need to overtake. My road is clear, it's smooth, it's even, it's not uneven. Do you understand? I can see number 100 already, or even infinity, because let me tell you something, with success it even goes beyond what you can imagine. You understand? So I want you to know that it is guaranteed that the moment you work on your purpose, the moment you work on your passion, it doesn't matter how long it takes, you will succeed at the end. It can even be more than what you imagined, because that's how success is. It goes beyond our own imagination. Yeah? This is an overall conversation we had with Tom Bruce. Not exactly what we discussed, but that was just my takeaway, and I sort of built my own content on what I took from that interview. Very powerful interview. I must say again, Tom Bruce, thank you so much for having that interview with us, hanging out with us on that day. That's it from me. My name is Pontsho Mpelo, Skull Session Episode 5. Let us hear all your thoughts and opinions on all our social platforms. On Instagram is skull.session, and on YouTube is Skull Session with Pontsho Mpelo, and Facebook is Skull Session. Thank you so much. Until next time.